Hello and welcome to 8-Bit LANDFILL, where we'll be exploring the hidden dregs of retro console gaming and digging up the weirdest, most obscure and downright worst games we can find. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
And today's bubble in the syringe is Tau on the NES.
Okay, so again, we know nothing about Tau. This is the first we're seeing of it.
I know it's got a Japanese theme. I mean, that looks to me like kanji characters written in with a snake.
Yeah, it's just be animating a little snake face there, and there's like a little flash once in a while. Made in 1989 by WP? UIP? I'm going to say WP.
Or some breasts.
Yeah.
Made in 1989 by the image of some breasts.
Yep.
Let's crack into it and see what's
prologue.
going on. Well, yeah, because we can't continue because we've never played it.
Hello.
Did none of the buttons working?
Well, the one did to get me to
Start
prologue.
button. Start button.
Yeah, that probably. Up and down don't make any.
Start.
Yep. Pressing. Okay, maybe that was just a very long loading screen. And it's in Japanese again.
Yes.
And there's a fava bean. No, that's
It's
not
a
a
fetus.
fava bean.
This is you. You're growing. This
Yep.
is a precursor to Fallout.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the beginning of Assassin's Creed 2. Okay, I think... Am I the red dude? Okay, I'm red man down the bottom.
See what's going on in the. Oh
Mhm.
wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so... Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that. I would say that would probably be pretty spot on.
It's difficult to argue with, isn't
It
it?
is really difficult to argue.
What's terrifying is I might not be able to get out of this menu.
Uh-oh. This might be the shortest one we've done.
Yep.
Keep pressing the buttons until something happens.
This is what I'm doing.
One of these says exit. Is
Yeah,
it to bottom right?
I just tried bottom right. Okay, let's be systematic about this. Yep, that's a question, but I don't seem to have a way of answering. There we go. It's the middle one. That's what we know now. So, none of the buttons seem to do anything other than take me into a menu that I can't get out of easily.
So, Tau, I don't know what that is. Is that some sort of Chinese dictator? Have I made that up?
No, I think you're Mao.
Mao, yeah.
I don't know. I know the name Tao, but I'm not gonna humiliate myself by having a horrible guess about something which is probably quite like spiritual to somebody.
Like I just did. Tao. I think Tao is like Taoism, right? Taoism is a religion, an Eastern religion.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was like Taoism or Taoism. Maybe it's the
I think
same
they're
thing
both.
but spelt differently.
Mm.
Either way, my guy looks pretty military. I'm not getting a spiritual sense from this game at all. Oh my god, it's no fucking menu. Okay, that's not just me. That sprite, even though it's made by Japanese people, is racist. That's racist. Yes.
You know which one's exit, so I think just stick with that.
Yeah.
You're going into all these houses, right?
There's just people in them.
Oh. This could be a big non-starter.
I was about to say the exact same thing. We've been down this road before. Oh, is it going to be a random battle? No. Is it... What?
There's a little man in the tree.
Oh, God. This is dull.
There's got to be something that's going to happen.
Oh, there you are. Yep. Okay, should we even bother proceeding? Let's go again. Yep. And a spinning globe. I'm just going to hit this one just for fun.
Okay. Have we got anything to talk about that doesn't involve this game?
In general, or just game related? Do we?
I don't know. We never really set a theme, did we?
No, we haven't. Maybe we should introduce ourselves a bit better.
How's your new house?
My new house is really nice. So if any of you out there are homeless, then I feel bad for you. Because my house isn't. It's not just like nicer than a normal house. It's significantly nicer than if you're a homeless, I think.
Okay, courtyard. Is your house as nice as that? That house looked more like a palace.
Yeah, you're right. No, that's probably not as nice as that. No, I'm probably overstating it. It's a nice flat, and I'm glad that I live there in that. I'm somewhere new.
Don't talk to the gardener. Don't, because it's just going to be incomprehensible shit again.
Yeah, you're probably right. So we probably shouldn't introduce ourselves.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Not really a point.
I think
it's pretty much only my girlfriend who listens to these things anyway.
I'm still not sure if she's a real person or if you just invented her.
Can't it be both?
It could be both. Yeah, it could be both. What's in here? The yoga centre. Go and do some yoga. Yoga mini games.
It's just identical maps and identical menus every time. This is really dull.
But not identical people. They were very careful to give some of them sunglasses and some of them big long moustaches.
There is some sprite variation once you're speaking to them. But that's probably the best we could say about this so far. Again, for all we know, this is an absolute classic. I'm not really getting that sense. So otherwise, it probably would have been translated. Yeah. Oh god, I keep pressing the wrong fucking button. Come on, little fella. You sure you don't want to have a go on Tau?
Go on then. I'll have a go.
Yeah.
What were you telling me earlier about Twitch? Let's talk about that.
About Twitch?
Yeah. No, it wasn't Twitch, was it?
The
Twitch was sold, but Minecraft, yeah.
So they're dropping like flies at the moment. So yeah, the news this week, if you follow games whatsoever, has been the sale of Minecraft to Microsoft for $2.5 billion, which on the face of it seems an awful lot for something which can't have that much growth left in it. Anyway, that's a ridiculous comment, and in 20 years' time there'll be an entire Microsoft empire built on Minecraft.
You've got no vision, Tom. You've got no vision.
Well, look, it's just come out on the new consoles, and there's not likely to be another generation of those anytime soon. So I'm just struggling to understand who. I mean, it'll continue to pootle along, but $2.5 billion, and they made a comment. I'm pretty sure I read a comment from some Microsoft executive saying they thought they were going to make this investment back before the end of the financial year. You think, how cheap is crack in Redmond? I don't understand. There's no... that game has made $100 million or thereabouts a year for the last couple of years, which is a mind-blowing fucking amount of money for one game. But how they think they're going to make $2.5 billion back before the end of the financial year, that must be a misquote that I've seen. But I think it was in a Kotaku article or something like that, so I imagine it's reasonably reputable. That's insane thinking.
Didn't the guy say that he was just tired of it or something?
Yeah, I mean his reason for, what he says his reason for getting out, and it seems to vibe with how he's generally acted, is that he never really wanted to be this. He didn't want to be a CEO. He didn't want to be the head of an enormous studio that raked in that huge amount of money. He was just kind of not a hobbyist, but he's not a big time game developer.
Yeah.
He kind of turned into that by accident. He had just done a few pretty humble things before that, released Minecraft as quietly as you can imagine. It's just turned into this absolute monster, which he obviously felt that he couldn't control anymore, and he's wanted to step away from it for a while, and probably hasn't had a great deal to do with the day-to-day running of it, or the day-to-day development, certainly for a long time. So it's difficult to blame him for taking the money. It seemed like he possibly initiated the deal with Microsoft because he wanted to get out of it for his own sanity. There has been accusations of hypocrisy, because not that long ago he quite publicly pulled out of the version they were making for Oculus Rift following their sale to Facebook,
right,
citing Facebook as being creepy.
Facebook is a bit creepy.
It is a bit creepy, but then some people have criticised the idea that he was creeped out by Facebook, but happy to sell his baby to Microsoft, who to some people are no less creepy. I mean, I probably wouldn't put them in the same bracket, but I can understand why people would have said hypocrisy. But I think he genuinely has done this for the reasons he said. It's probably not for the money, because he's already made hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, it's long past the stage where money had any meaning to him.
It'd just be nice to, I guess, watch watch it just grow in the hands of people who have the time, patience,
Yeah.
and capital to really run with it. And
I think he mostly just wanted it off his fucking hands.
Yeah.
Like he said he's going to go back to doing game jams and kind of making the odd thing in his spare time. Like he can afford to just poodle around and make stuff for his own enjoyment for the end of his life. And he even went to the state of saying that if he ever made anything that went on to get traction with an audience, he would most likely abandon it before. He doesn't want to be famous. He doesn't want that. He just wants to be cheery Swedish guy.
Yeah. So is it just a single guy working? Oh, what the company called?
Called Mojang.
Mojang. That's right.
I think the company had ballooned by this stage. But there's some guy called Jens something or other, I can't remember his surname, who took over lead development of it quite a while ago. It was a very small company at one stage, and I think it's like 40, 50 employees or something to keep it ticking over. They haven't really been doing the ports of it onto a lot of the console stuff. I think a company called 4J did the ports to like PlayStation and to Microsoft, to the Xbox 360 into the One, and I think they're doing the upcoming Vita port. And to their credit, Microsoft have been quite open and come out and said that they have no plans to curtail the other versions of it or to make it a Microsoft platform exclusive, because they'd be mad to do so, and it would be leaving money on the table. Now, like what they'll do in the future, who knows? I mean, if they're talking about making $2.5 billion back before the end of the financial year, you imagine they might have some plans in place. But
yeah, you don't know what they've got planned, man.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of money being made off Microsoft, being made off Minecraft, but not by its owners. I mean, there's people who run private servers, some of which charge hundreds of pounds to get access to a server for a limited amount of time, or for items to get one over on each other, and that stuff seems like really, really fucking shady in some ways.
Yeah, because I mean that's a big thing, isn't it? In I guess in Japan, there are some countries, I'm not sure exactly where, but you get people playing like WoW and stuff, where they're just basically just mining, like just grinding through the games all
gold
the time.
farming.
Yeah, and they're just selling like impressively huge characters, and
people who literally just play MMOs for a full time.
But it's almost like like the sweatshop of the new millennium, right? Because they're kind of sitting there at their desks on their computers,
playing a game for no fun whatsoever, just gold farming so it could be sold. Yeah, that's again really. There's a lot of really kind of dark, dirty stuff that happens with people who, for some reason, enjoy an online game but want to buy their way into it, which I seem completely contradictory. Like FIFA, EA have moved quite recently on stuff that's been happening with FIFA.
Right.
There's this thing called Ultimate Team, which is a bit like it's like an online mode but mixed with kind of sticker collecting, and you spend money on packs to get players, and there's been a lot of like really kind of shady trading of stuff around that, and they've just moved quite recently to kind of kill a lot of that stuff because it's been unbalancing the game and making it kind of pointless for somebody that doesn't want to spend via them. I mean, part of it is quite self-interested and they want people to buy the stuff from them, but people have been charging exorbitant amounts of money. And again, I can't see the point in that stuff. Like, you seem to be buying your way out of a game. Like, surely you've bought a game because you want to have fun with it. So I don't understand the nature of somebody that wants to then like destroy the value of that game, which is playing it, by buying their way through it. It seems fucking mental to me.
Yeah, it's a whole new level of warfare that I don't understand. I mean, I read, and I'm not going to cite this story at all, right? But EVE Online, like there's so much kind of taking down ships and like mutinies and shit. And
that shit seems awesome to me.
I
wish that I was a person who could play EVE Online. Like that, some of the stories that come out of that are absolutely mind blowing. And there was the recent, there was an enormous space battle. I think about a couple of months ago, maybe 6 months ago. I can't remotely remember the name of it because it had quite an obscure title that related to the sector of space in which it happened. And that was a battle that involved like thousands of people at the same time. And there was so much stuff going on that they had to basically put time dilation into the servers to make it all work. So there was so much shit happening. They had to slow down time for everybody involved in order for it to be comprehensible. And like when you see people, EVE players writing up what happened, it sounds so exciting. And you'll see like a screen grab or some footage of it, and it's just like
inventory.
It's nonsense plus a lot of spreadsheets, basically. But they tell me it's awesome. Yeah, like if I was that much of a nerd, then I had that much time, I would happily play Eve. But I can barely sit through an RTS, let alone an MMO. And no MMO has ever grabbed me. Most online games have just completely failed to grab me. I think I just grew up. I grew up prior, like my formative gaming experiences, and it's probably the same for you, were prior to the internet age.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I much prefer. Like
a good single player story mode.
Yeah, like I mean, even if it doesn't have much of a narrative, I just like being able to be left to my own devices. Like to me, gaming is a solitary thing where I can just like shut out the world,
or at least local multiplayer, right?
Yeah, I mean, like those are the I mean, the other one, couch multiplayer, which I much prefer. Like if I'm shooting somebody in the face, I would much rather
be able to turn around and go.
Yeah, like it's kind of pointless doing it online. I mean, I've played a little bit of Call of Duty online over the years, and Battlefield I would tend to prefer a bit. Like I'll kick a few hours into those, but it's not something where I can spend hundreds and hundreds of hours in. Just the repetition gets incredibly dull. I don't know, the whole multiplayer experience of waiting around in lobbies for stuff, and I don't know, the fact that everything has to be balanced across for other people, it doesn't appeal. I enjoy being able to sequester myself off from the rest of the world and really get lost in a game world. Like no matter how complex or basic that is, I think it's the act of just shutting everything out. And like there are some people who are just totally the opposite, and they won't play a single player game. All they're interested in is the interaction. But I think I'm just always been a bit of like a gaming introvert and an online introvert, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right, I think this has been another non-starter in terms of Japanese games that we can't play.
Yeah. This fella looks a little bit like you.
Thanks.
I'm gonna leave this running, and then when you next talk, I'm gonna animate it so that his mouth moves.
I'm not gonna say anything. Yep.
I'm gonna have animated that.
Damn it.
Anyway, this doesn't flick any of my switches.
Basically, all we've been able to do is enter a menu and then work out how to exit the menu.
Yeah, I think working out how to exit the menu is probably the most important thing we've learned from this.
But it doesn't seem like there's. I mean, even if we could read what was going on, it seems like there's very, very little happening. And it's got to be said, this looks like absolute dog shit, doesn't it?
It's horrible. Look how garish that yellow is.
And his skin
so
colour's
big.
the same as the background. It's like this is really ugly. The menus are ugly. Everything about it is just kind of ugly and shit.
We're gonna get like somebody coming and saying like, this is a legendary game you just don't know because
it is nice to have our feelings confirmed. Like I was having to be listening to an old Giant Bomb the other day. I think I told you that we had only just recently played Karnov, and I happened to be listening to an old Giant Bomb, and they mentioned specifically that Karnov is an absolute fucking piece of shit. So I felt very much vindicated that our instincts are correct.
Yeah, we felt the same, didn't we?
Yeah,
that sucked.
Okay, so should we possibly bring this one to a close?
Let's.
All we've done is just walk around in circles.
Yeah, this sucks.
Us. I do quite like this dude, but maybe
it's a bit like Mac from Mac and Me.
I don't know what that is.
Don't know what that is? Well, we'll have to sort that out. Okay. It's an amazing kids film. Anyway.
Okay, so we have been 8-Bit Landfill. There is absolutely no chance in hell this is staying out of the landfill. This is going to get huzzed back in with a bit of fucking English on it, so it skims off a rock.
Might burn it first and then put it back.
In fact, I sincerely hope that a seagull finishes it off and just takes a dump over what's left, because this has been
at the bottom of the NES cart, like the two kind of, at the bottom of a NES cart where it goes inwards, like every cart. Yeah. I'm going to get a lighter and burn the two edges and stick the two edges together, so you physically cannot put it in a machine anymore.
Yeah, this doesn't deserve to live.
Doesn't deserve to have these sprites. These sprites and these pixels could have been used for so many better things.
We don't want future generations to dig this up and think that this is what we're all about, because we could do so much better.
Let's call it an evening on what's this?
Tau.
Yeah, that's been fun.
This has been
weird.
Yeah, we've been 8-Bit Landfill. I'm Tom.
That's you. I'm Dan.
Bye.